And what's going on? Welcome back to the Golden Octagon MMA channel, and welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast number 98. And in today's show, we got our UFC 296 picks, predictions, our breakdowns. If we have any bets, we're going to give them to you. But before we do that, we do have to go over the flaming garbage bin that was UFC Vegas 83 and give you our news for the week, any fight announcements, and anything like that. So if you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up and let's get into it. Freedom. Yes, we're back. What's going on, y'all? My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. And yeah, I'm excited for this card. I've been stoked to be here all day long. Bro, this card is amazing top to bottom. But as I said, we got some stuff to cover before we actually get into the picks, predictions, and all that for this weekend. But D Rose, let the people know how you've been over the past week, man.
Hey, no, things been great over here, and as you said, the dumpster bin, that was the fight card this past weekend. I mean, had some of my favorite fighters on there, so I couldn't be too mad at it, but I was more interested in those particular fights more than the whole card itself. But no, had a great weekend. Yeah, in terms of gambling, no, not so much. But I'll tell you, I didn't go too heavy on this card because I wanted to try to make sure I could save up for a loaded pay-per-view this weekend. So definitely excited to be here and get into it, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I've been stoked, ready to talk about this all day. Like ever since I think this morning when I just really looked and just started thinking about all the fights, because I don't really start doing like my real research until today, right before the podcast, because if I try to spread it out over a few days, then it just doesn't work, dude. I just forget. I have to go back. Yeah, like I have to do it Wednesday and then just kind of listen to the other people, Thursday, Friday, things like that. So all of my fight research gets done on Wednesdays. And then, I listen to the other people on, Thursdays, Fridays, and I mostly make my bets after weigh-ins Fridays for the most part anyway, because that's when FanDuel likes to drop their props and everything. But where would we be at, D-Rose, if we didn't shout out the chat? I don't want to get started too much. So in here, loyally, as always, another Golden Wednesdays with the boys. Sure. Shout out Lushlow, man. We appreciate you for stopping by here today, brother. As always, thank you, man. And up next, we got Austin in here. D-Rose kind of looks good with the hair and the thumbnail. D-Rose, do you think Austin just saw that for the first time?
I mean, got to, man. I mean, we've been rocking with that since the MSG card. I mean, that was I think we'd even said it on the live stream. We was like, hey, we're gonna rock with this when Diego Lopez gets the win, and he ended up helping me hit a parlay that night. So yeah, I said we gotta run with that because if you can't tell, I'm never going to be able to actually grow hair like that. So if I can only imagine it and see it in the form of that, yeah, I'll take it.
D-Rose, if the people could have just seen you back in the day with the thick cornrows that you used to have,
man. People don't know. I tell people that and they think I'm lying. I'm like, nah, your boy for real had the like you said, the thick cornrows, like the Carmelo Anthony joints. Yeah, that's how mine was back in the day. I was trying to be a rapper so bad.
Chael is saying that Gary pulled out. Nah, I doubt it. Wednesday with the boys. We appreciate you stopping by for tonight. Gym card collecting, and we got Kenneth Seeger. It's crazy to think that Ferguson can win, or am I delusional at this point? We'll get into it, man. We'll get into it. And oops, somehow he missed the hair previously, D-Rose.
Nah, just busting on you, Austin. It's all good, brother. Hey, it's just a thumbnail, but yeah, it's kind of been a little thing. So we're just going to kind of run with it and see how many people kind of catch on.
Yeah, man. So as I said, UFC Vegas 83 recap as quick as possible. You know, a few things happened. We got some UFC fight news and announcements to go over, and we'll jump into our UFC 296 Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington breakdown predictions, picks, and bets. So without any further ado, D Rose. Let's see. What is Jim Carter? Patty is winning, I'm afraid. And then Lush Lemon El Cuckoo will eat. All right, you guys go at it. We'll get into the UFC Vegas 83 recap real quick, D Rose. So this weekend, man, main event, dude. I really don't care to talk about this, dude. Another one that was, interesting for 2 rounds, and then Song Yadong found out that he could just take down Chris Gutierrez and lay on him. So that's what happened, dude. Song Yadong wrestled Chris Gutierrez 3 out of the 5 rounds, won by unanimous decision. I was kind of falling asleep during the fights, dude, and I didn't even care to go back to watch it. But I was kind of watching it, dude. But I was like, dude, I don't. All right, cool, dude. Like, did I miss anything, or was that basically what happened?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all that happened in a nutshell. I think the big thing was that it was kind of like a up and down week for Song Yadong, and I thought John Gooden kind of summed it up pretty well on the broadcast, where it was supposed to be a fight in China, where it was supposed to be a main event, in front of Song Yadong's. He'll have a home crowd atmosphere there, and it ended up happening at the Apex, and just abrupt changes of schedule and everything like that. He kind of had the odds stacked against him. And it was a Chris Gutierrez fight where he's ranked number 7 and Gutierrez is number 15. So I could see Song Yadong kind of in just a mindset of, hey, I don't want to slip up and lose a fight to a guy I shouldn't lose a fight to. And for Gutierrez, I just think he keeps it safe, man. I noticed that he did that in the Pedro Munoz fight. When he just takes a shot, he kind of dances around and plays it safe. So Montoya, even his coach Mark Montoya, even got it on him in the corner saying he was playing it safe as well. So but yeah, you pretty much saw it there. Song Yadong just kind of did enough in the wrestling just to be able to do what he could to get the win and kind of keep him moving forward.
Yeah, man, and I guess as you see right over the I guess D Rose's, I guess that would be his right shoulder. You see a shiny gold piece this week. D Rose finally got the pick champ back. He won it back on this fight, the co-main event. Anthony Lionheart Smith versus Khalil Roundtree. I went Anthony Lionheart Smith because got a picture with him. Super nice, super cool. He was actually interested in like the UFC cards that like he was like signing. Like he was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like I don't like ever get to see these. So he was like kind of like kind of just reading what it said, like and stuff. So it was actually pretty cool. Like we actually had a conversation. So I was like, that's pretty dope. So I was really rooting for him, dude. But I feel like his game plan was to go out there, take down Khalil Roundtree, and do jujitsu on Khalil Roundtree. And dude, I feel like he didn't even try to shoot for a takedown. He was just trying to kickbox Khalil Roundtree and end up getting knocked out in the 3rd round. I guess thoughts on co-main event, winning the pick champ back, dude?
Yeah, I think this was probably the biggest story from the card. I think just in terms of the names and how it happened, but for Khalil, he just that power is just undeniable. I mean, just the way he can just put dudes out. And I'll even say that Anthony Smith, when he came out there, I think he only attempted one takedown, and Khalil had stuffed it. They kind of fought in the clinch for a little bit on the cage, and then Anthony Smith kind of never went for it the rest of the fight. But Anthony Smith did have a lot of moments there when he was kind of putting the pressure on Khalil, and I was wondering if Khalil was going to end up folding, because if you've ever seen him in his previous fights, Johnny Walker, and a lot of his notable losses, Martin Boudet, he let guys kind of put the pressure on him, and he didn't really do enough and got overwhelmed. And in the Johnny Walker fight, he got finished. But in this one, he really weathered the storm from Anthony Smith early on, because I thought Anthony Smith actually gave a good fight. I mean, he gave a good fight. He gave a few good shots in there, but he got rocked multiple times in that fight. I'm surprised the Khalil actually didn't get the finish earlier on. But finding that home run hit in the third round, literally 10 seconds before the finish sequence, I looked at Amber, my wife, and I'd actually said, "Hey, Khalil looks like he's actually starting to get tired." And 10 seconds after I said that was when he ended up landing that home run shot and just getting Anthony Smith out of there. And dude, just the savage nature of him, just to hold the fist up and just not even throw the hammer fist, like, dude, that's just like some that's almost kind of Mark Hunt like. That's what it reminded me of to a certain extent. But that was badass, man. I loved it.
All
But
right, man.
I hated to see Anthony Smith get knocked out like that, though. I will say that I hated to see that.
Yeah, man. The other two fights for the pick champ were Tim Elliott versus Sumu Darji, where I went Tim Elliott, you went Sumu Darji, and you ended up losing that one. Tim Elliott gets the first round sub. I didn't expect that, but it is what it is. And the last one was Luana Santos versus Stephanie Egger, where I did go Stephanie Egger, and you went Luana Santos. Dude, I feel like Stephanie Egger could not keep her feet, dude, and she was just sliding all over the octagon. I was like, what's did she have banana peels glued to the bottom of her feet, dude? It's like she would throw a jab and then slide back. Like, I was like, what is happening? It just didn't make any sense. But her striking just looked terrible, dude. The whole card, as a whole, dude, wasn't, I kind of thought the prelims may have been better than the main card. I know if you want to talk about Steve Garcia over Melk Costa, that'll be all right. And Shannon Ross getting finished in the second round this time, dude. Any of those you want to talk about?
I mean, none in particular. I mean, Steve Garcia. I just think he's kind of turning into one of those fun fighters, man. And I think really, I guess I got his attention, or he got my attention in the Chase Hooper fight when he kind of just kept rocking Chase Hooper. I was like, yo, this dude's a savage. And he just kept, he continues to put on pressure, and he continues to put on fun fights. So just as far as like a guy to watch out, maybe prelims on like a pay-per-view or something like that. Yeah, Steve Garcia, he's gonna be in a banger for sure.
Yeah, and the last one that I want to talk about, because I believe it probably ruined I know it ruined my parlays. I know it ruined your parlay. Jung Young Park, Andre Muniz, dude. Like, Andre Muniz went out there and did the Uriah Hall thing to Jung Young Park, dude. Like, what do we even say? Like, the Iron Turtle failed us, dude. Andre Muniz, I can't get him right, man. I'll pick him and he loses. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Any thoughts on that fight? And then we'll get into our news for the week, because, as I said, I really don't want to talk about this card too much.
No, I got it right in the Brendan Allen for Andre Muniz, but I did not get it right for the Paul Gregg fight, and I did not get it right for this one either. So I'm with you as far as it's hard to call an Andre Muniz fight, but you can make an argument in the third round that Jung Young Park won that round, because I mean, look, he won the first round in my opinion with the ground and pound that he was able to work in. Because I did think Andre Muniz obviously had the more control, but Jung Young Park had more of the ground and pound. And second round Muniz. The third round, hey, that's I mean, I can make an argument for Park in that third round. So I felt like he won. Is it betting bias? Maybe, but hey, look, I'm telling you straight up that he should have won the fight, and yeah, that it hurt, but hey, you can't call him all right.
And jiu-jitsu don't work on bang tree. Apparently not, dude. Well, he didn't even try, dude. He didn't even try. Like one takedown attempt, and he was like, all right, let's just get punched in the face the rest of the night. But, it is what it is. Let's go to our news for the week, dude. This right here is what we ended off on last week. Two of D Rose's favorites. But, this week we will move on. Dude, the fights from last week were so bad that they didn't even put, the highlights in here like they usually do. So here's the next news that we have. Dan, 50K Ige going to be taking on Lerone, the Miracle Murphy, UFC Vegas 86, February 10th. Thoughts on that, man?
Ooh, that's a fun fight. I mean, tough fight for Dan Ige, but Lerone Murphy, he is I mean, he's not as invincible as the UK followers will make you believe he is, but he is a sharp striker though, and he's kind of on the come up, and I guess this is kind of his fight to kind of grab the more hardcore fans' attention that might not know him just yet.
All right, fair enough. Up next, we do have Daniel Marcos was going to fight this past weekend, but he ended up. I don't know what happened, dude, but he is going to be facing Arichi Lang, dude, and that is also UFC Vegas 86, February 10th. Thoughts on that?
Solid fight. That's about all I got.
All right. One of your favorites, dude. Ode Osborne going to be taking on Jafael Filo March 16th. You care about that at all?
Hey, that should be a fun fight. Like you said, Ode Osborne fan, so yeah, he normally win, lose, or draw. You know, it's normally a pretty fun fight. So
all right. Up next we do have Nate Maness versus Azat Maxim. Yeah, this dude's fought one time, dude. I forgot who he fought, but Nate Maness still down at flyweight, dude. Thoughts on that?
I mean, if he's still able to make flyweight, you know, comfortably, I mean, you know, go ahead and let him do his thing, and you know, he's going to be huge for the division. So Nate Maness, he should be could be a name to look out for in that division.
I believe it. I believe it. Dude, this is a fantastic one, dude, and you have to give me something on it. We got Hanato Money Moicano going to be taking on Drew Dober, dude. February 3rd, UFC Vegas 85. What's your thoughts on that?
Now, Money Moicano cannot be coming in here talking this cash and then be going in here trying to shoot for takedowns on Drew Dober afterwards, man. You got to go in there and slug it out with Drew Dober. Drew Dober's only here for one thing. He is not going for takedowns. Nah, none of that. No submissions. He's going in there to take your head off. He's going in there to swing for his life. So Money Moicano, he got to kind of do his Max Holloway. Stand there, got to be ready to bring it.
I am with you, dude, but going to be a hell of a fight. I'm all for it, though. We got Henry Cejudo versus Merab Dvalishvili, February 17th, UFC 298. But I also heard that, like Merab said, that he didn't have a contract for this yet, so maybe they just announced that. I don't know. You think this is going to happen? I mean, Henry seems to keep pulling out of fights anyway, dude. So, thoughts on this?
I mean, it's an interesting fight potentially, but I mean, I guess it's just to make sure Merab kind of gets paid and everything. But I mean, I would, if I'm Merab, I would probably just do the backup thing for Tito and Sean, you know, and because they, you know, they give you a payday for that, and I think, you know, he could potentially fight the winner of that fight. You know, he's very deserving of a title fight, and I mean, I guess sure. I mean, like you said, Henry Cejudo is always pulling out of fights anyway, so I'm almost not even sure if this is going to happen.
I'm with you, man. I am with you. We got Ty Bam Bam Tuivasa taking on Marcin Tybur, February 17th. Ty Tuivasa really stepping down in competition, huh? But then again,
yeah,
he did just fight Tom Aspinall, fucking Marcin Tybura, so, you know.
Well, I was getting ready to say, dude, Marcin Tybura, every single time I ever try to count him out is when he ends up, you know, coming back.
They're ranked 9 and 10, dude. I guess I just didn't know Marcin Tybura was ranked number 10, man.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like he, you know, he's been sneaky. He had kind of like a sneaky resurgence. Because I know he was almost at a point where he almost got cut, but yeah, he won like 5 out of 6 fights or something like that at one point in time. But yeah, I mean, I think Ty could potentially beat him, but Tybura also got takedowns as well, and we know Ty can get Ty is doo-doo on his back.
Yeah, man, I will agree with you there. Up next, dude, we got an absolute banger here, dude. Tatiana Suarez making this title push, dude. We got Amanda Lemos taking on Tatiana Suarez, UFC 298, February 17th as well. That's the same pay-per-view as Ilya versus Volk, man, February 17th. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, this is just unfortunately, I'm a big Lemos fan, but I'm also a Tatiana Suarez fan as well. How can you not be? But I think, it's kind of just a stay busy fight for Tatiana, because if Wei Li was able to take down Lemos the way she was, I think, especially with Suarez's submission skills, yeah, I think this is probably this should be light work for Tatiana Suarez.
Yeah, dude. So I think she's probably trying to get that next title shot, right?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta imagine it. I gotta imagine she'd be next. That's Lemos just fought for the belt, just lost. So, she fights the one who just lost in the title fight. And if there's nobody else that makes sense for Wei Li at that point, it only makes sense to go Suarez.
Coming back to America, baby. All right, up next, dude. We got this was originally scheduled but fell out due to an injury on Curtis Blades is in, but rescheduled. Jailton Almeida versus Curtis Blades, UFC 299, March 9th. Thoughts on that?
So I see that they made sure that it wasn't a main event this time. They was like,
that's
fuck.
The Sean O'Malley versus Cheeto pay-per-view.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they're like, fuck that. Jailton Almeida is not getting another main event. Fuck that. He is not getting one for a long ass time. Yeah, he gonna have to earn this one, big boy. Yeah, good thing this is 3 rounds.
Who do you think wins that off the top though, D-Rose?
I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I would say Jailton, but I mean, Curtis Blades is a good wrestler, but it's like, again, in the Pavlich fight, I picked Curtis Blades to beat Pavlovich, and he doesn't even go for a takedown. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't even attempt one? So, I mean, I don't know, but he could try to go for a takedown against Jailton and end up getting guillotined. I have no idea, dude.
All right, man. I guess we'll talk about it when we get there, dude. We got Matus Gamrot going to be taking on RDA Rafael Dos Anjos. Going to be UFC 299 in March as well, dude. Thoughts on that? Dude, how is RDA still at like the top of this division?
Well,
like,
right. That's what.
That's what top dudes. What's happening?
That's why my head fell back, because I'm like, so Gamrot fought Fiziev, and then of course, unfortunately, what happened in that fight. So now he's fighting RDA. Like, how did this? Like, I don't know. It just feels kind of like a step back for him. Maybe it's just a name fight at this point. Gamrot always gets like the weirdest, like like Jalen Turner, and I mean, I know we had the Dariush fight too, but I know this is probably just for a payday, but it's just I don't know, just weird matchmaking. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like both fighters too, but that's just I mean, it should be a good fight, but it's almost like, huh? This fight? Huh?
Yeah. I mean, all right, man.
Most of the time I'll say like, yeah, it's a good fight. That's a weird fight.
And then lastly, dude, we got killer Karine Silva taking on lucky Lauren Murphy, UFC 299 March 9th, dude. I guess we'll see if Lauren Murphy can be finished, dude.
Dude,
there's a comment here, and I have to heart it. It says The Undertaker versus Carlito.
Hell yeah.
Oh goodness.
Oh hell yeah. That I could not have said it I could not have said it better. But the JYD, I mean, like you said, let's see if she can get finished. But yeah, I like that, man. Undertaker versus Carlito. Where's her at?
Oh yeah, dude. It's good, dude. People are nuts. Randy Poppy saying RDA is still alive, dog, and maybe if Gamrot wins, he'll get the 15th ranked flyweight. Maybe, dude.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Like, how does he keep getting matches down? Like, in all of his matchmaking, I mean, they do him. Especially he was supposed to be the backup. He weighed in as backup for the championship fight, but they still pulled Volk to come fight him. Fight Islam. It's like, what are they doing with Gamrot at this point, dude? It's crazy.
I have no idea, dude. So let's get into it. What everyone's here for. UFC 296, Leon Rocky Edwards versus Colby Chaos Covington. Our breakdown, predictions, picks, and if we got any bets, we'll get into them. D Rose, you excited for this card this weekend?
Yeah, dude. It's like we were kind of messaging earlier, and I said, it's kind of like a hardcore's delight because I think, just in terms of all the matchmaking, big stars that are kind of on the rise that we're excited for, but we also kind of have, some of the throwback, old school type names too. So, you're kind of seeing the matchup wise, new breed versus the kind of like the old regime. So, good matchmaking on the card, and yeah, I mean everybody's always willing to see Colby get KO'd. So I'm sure everybody's going to be excited to see if that happens.
Yeah, and we got, as always, the loyal Lush Lemaine keeping track of who we're picking, and we truly appreciate Lush because, dude, every week, dude,
More Lush, stay with it.
I would forget who he picked. I would forget who I picked. I have to go back and like who did I pick this week?
Which fight was it again?
Right, dude. Every single week, dude. I'm terrible at it. But let's get into it, dude. UFC 296, Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, taking place at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. We got 14 fights, and it will be taking place at 6 p.m. East Coast time. So our time, D-Rose, prelims start at 6 p.m. And in the main event, we got Leon Rocky Edwards taking on Colby Chaos Covington. We got in the co-main event, also for a title, the 125-pound title, we've got Alexandre the Cannibal Pantoja taking on Brandon Raw Dog Royval. In the feature fight of the night, we've got Shavkat Nomad Rachmanov taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And then we've got Tony El Kukui Ferguson taking on Patty the Batty Pimblett. I guess everyone's main event this week. Everyone really rooting for Tony. We'll talk about it though. And then opening up the main card, we've got the silent assassin Vicente Luque taking on the future Ian Machado Gary. Yeah, you guys can say what you want to, about him, but he's a pretty good fighter. The headliner of the prelims, the Rose, is Josh Emmett taking on Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell. We've got the co-main event of the prelims, Irene, the Mexican Jaguar Aldana, taking on Carol Hossa. We've got Cody No Love Garbrandt taking on Brian Boom Kelleher. We've got King Casey O'Neill taking on Ariane, the Queen of Violence Lipsky. We've got Alonzo Zoe Minifield taking on Dustin the Hanyak Jacoby. We've got Tagir Ulanbekov taking on Cody Durden. We've got Andre Touchy-Feely taking on Lucas Almeida. We've got Shamil Gaziv taking on Martin Baddies Budai. We've got Rude Boy Randy Brown taking on the King of Kung Fu, Muslim Salikov, in the first fight of the night. Fights fell off this card was Josh Emmett versus Giga Chikadze. Giga injured his growing or something like that. So Thug Nasty stepping in for Giga Chikadze on late notice, dude. So we'll, I guess, give me your thoughts on the card as a whole. Rank it, D-Rose. A plus, A? I don't know, dude. I feel like this is a fantastic pay-per-view card. I'm not going to mind paying for it this weekend. Not going to mind sitting there for the amount of hours that it is, dude.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely have to say it's an A. Yeah, it's definitely an A so far. Like I said, name value. Even kicking off the card as we're on right here. Randy Brown and Muslim Salikov. That's a good fight within itself to kick off the whole thing. So yeah, I think top to bottom, good matchups throughout the most part. Good names everywhere to. We're excited to see where young stars are coming up. So, yeah, if I had to give it a grade, I had to say A.
Jim Card Collecting says B-. Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more of a fan of the fighters on this card. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's just us, D-Rose. But up first fight of the night, we got Rude Boy Randy Brown taking on the King of Kung Fu, Muslim Salikov, dude. Yeah, dude. Let's just start like this. Randy Brown, 17-5. He's won 4 of his last 5. King of Kung Fu, Muslim Salikov, 19-4. Won 3 of his last 5. Randy Brown, I guess I should pull up the odds for this because, who knows if Tapology has them right. But currently, Randy Brown, 33 years old, 6'3", in a 78-inch reach, while Muslim Salikov is 39 years old, maybe, or he might be 49 years old. He could be lying about his age because the dude always looks really, really old in the octagon. He is 5'11" and does have a 70-inch reach. Currently, odds for this fight are Randy Brown minus 265, Muslim Salikov, the dog, at plus 200. And it makes sense, D-Rose. But I guess if we could count on Randy Brown to put on the pressure for 3 rounds like he can do. But, dude, I feel like in his past couple of fights, starting with the Jack Della, I don't want to say he's taken on the Tyrone Woodley approach, but even like versus Trinaldo, dude, he would like hit him and then just step back and like look at him and then just go around the octagon, dude. And Muslim Salikov puts on pressure, dude. To be honest, I don't feel comfortable betting Randy Brown at almost 3-1 favorite in this fight because he could easily get outpointed just with kicks and shit, dude. I'm going Randy Brown by decision, but I won't be betting it this weekend, D-Rose. What's your thoughts on this fight, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can agree with you in terms of, maybe betting. I think if I was to bet this fight, I would look and see. I don't know if the line's available right now, but I would look to see Randy Brown by decision. I just think, for his length, he uses his range well and everything, and he does have fights where he kind of uses range a little bit, but we have seen him, Jack Della, Vicente Luque. I mean, he's been knocked out when he's gone up against those types of fighters as well. So I guess, I can understand him playing defense to a certain extent, but I think, Muslim Salikov, good fighter, but I think he's just a little bit too plotty and good striker. But I just think he just sits right in Randy Brown's range, and Randy Brown just kind of jab and kind of throw that teep kick to the body to ride to a decision.
Maybe, dude. Hopefully that's what happens. I'll probably have Randy Brown like fighting by decision in my like Hail Mary 14 leg this week, but I don't feel confident in it. I would probably feel more confident in this fight just going over in the fight, to be honest. But it looks like me and you are both going Rude Boy Randy Brown this week.
Yeah, and on FanDuel right now, you can get Randy Brown at minus 265 and get Muslim Salikov at plus 200 right now on FanDuel. So odds to kind of watch out for.
Yeah. All right. So me and D-Rose both on Randy Brown this week. Up next, we've got Shamil Gaziev taking on Martin Baddies Budai. Shamil Gaziev 11-0. Currently, 11-0. Martin Baddies Budai is 13-1. Shamil Gaziev, 33 years old, 6'4" and a 78-inch reach, while Martin Baddies Budai is 32 years old, 6'4" and a 77-inch reach. Currently, odds for this are minus 162 for Martin Budai and plus 126 for Shamil Gaziev. So, D-Rose, we saw Shamil Gaziev last fight on Contender Series. He's just this really tall dude, and I think he was a Dagestani like volleyball player that then started training MMA or something like that, dude. So he's not like a lifelong like a mixed martial artist. And we've seen Martin Budai in his, I guess we've just seen him in the UFC fight a few times, not against the best competition, but he has won all the fights, even though a couple of them were close against like the Lucas Dresky, I believe. Yeah, this fight, I don't know if he actually won that, but possibly. And then in his last fight, maybe showed what we all wanted to see the whole time. He got the Kimura over Josh Parisian, but that really isn't saying a lot because it is like the lowest level in the UFC. Josh Parisian, dude. I guess what kind of concerns me about the UFC newcomer is he don't really seem to have the best gas tank. He's kind of finished all of his fights in the first round or like the first minute of the second round. And we know Martin Budai can go 3 rounds. So that being said, I am going to go with the UFC vet Martin Buday, probably to win this fight, third round or decision. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, this is a little bit of a tough fight to score because like I said, we don't really know too much about Gaziev, and I mean we've seen Martin Buday. I don't want to say he has like a lack of aggression in his fights, but I guess you could just say that he's a little bit more measured in his fights. As you see, in his last fight he got the submission, but kind of like as you were going through, he was very tentative in some of his fights. That's kind of how some of them came down to a split decision. But man, I think I'm actually going to go with the dog here. Yeah, you give me any type of Dagestani. I know he's not, super wrestle heavy Khabib like, but hey, you give me a underdog like that, yeah, I will. I'll gladly take it. I think if he's able to kind of go out there and put the pressure on, let's go Gaziev here, and I think
Yeah.
I don't know if he gets a finish, but I'd say he gets a decision. It might be one of those boring heavyweight decisions, but I can see something like that happening. But let's go Gaziev.
Yeah, and you are correct that Jim Card collecting. He was trained by Khabib's dad. I think he's the one that like recruited him from like the volleyball team. He was like, "Hey, you're a giant dude. Come train MMA." And but in Russian, brother. I don't know how to say that in Russian, but yeah. So yeah, he was recruited by Khabib's dad to start training MMA. So me and D-Rose split on for the first time on the card. He is going the dog in Shamil Gaziev. I am going the favorite in Martin Baddies Budai. Taking the gold back this week, D-Rose. Up next, we do have Andre Touchy-Feely taking on Lucas Almeida. Andre Touchy-Feely is 22-10 overall. Out of his last 5, he's won 1, he's lost 3, and he has 1 draw. Lucas Almeida is 14-2 overall. Out of his last 5, he has won 3 and lost 2. Currently, odds for this: Andre Feely a -186 and Lucas Almeida +144. Andre Feely, 33 years old, 5'11" and a 74-inch reach, while Lucas Almeida, 32 years old, 5'11" and a 71-inch reach. D-Rose, I don't know why I like Lucas Almeida here this week. I like him as a dog. I think Andre Feely maybe gets hit, and the way Lucas Almeida fights, he just kind of comes forward and throws, dude. If this is on the feet the whole time, Lucas Almeida is probably going to smoke Andre Feely. Andre Feely needs to wrestle here to beat Lucas Almeida. But how often do we really see Andre Feely wrestling, though, dude? I don't know. I'm going with the dog this week to probably knock out Andre Feely. Which way are you going here this week, man?
Man, you actually stole my thunder there. I thought you were going to go Touchy Feely. I know you're kind of I'm not a huge fan, but I know you kind of, give Andre Feely his credit. So I thought you were going to go with him. Yeah, I actually think Lucas Almeida as well. I think, you kind of took my analysis as well. I think, we saw in the past Sabatini fight for Lucas Almeida, his flaws with the wrestling defense. I think, he was able to get up a couple times, but what Sabatini was able to kind of use that chain wrestling against him to be able to, kind of continue those takedowns and, eventually kind of break Lucas Almeida. Did Lucas Almeida, I think he took that fight on short notice, I believe. It was something to the sort, but no, he does have power in his hands. So Andre Feely, if he does not use his wrestling, I do think if they kind of get into a scrap, Lucas Almeida is also quick as well with his hands. Throws super quick hooks, and yeah, I think he goes in there and gets into a firefight with Andre Feely. Yeah, I think Lucas Almeida should be able to win, and I think Andre Feely just has that kind of attitude just to go in there and get into a firefight, and I think Almeida gets a win.
Yeah, man. So surprisingly, me and D-Rose both on the dog this week. So maybe keep that in mind. If you're betting this week, me and D-Rose both on the dog. But hey, dude, it's like if Andre Feely will wrestle, he can for sure win this fight because Lucas Almeida, was showed in his last fight, like you said, against Pat Sabatini that, he can get wrestled. But, Pat Sabatini and Andre Fili are not the same type of wrestlers. Like Pat Sabatini is like a relentless grappler, and Andre Fili definitely is not a relentless grappler. He has shown that he can grapple, but not so much, dude. But yeah, dude, me and D-Rose both on the dog, Lucas Almeida this week. So up next, we do have Tagir Ulanbekov taking on Cody Durden, dude. And yeah, let me get into the stats and then we'll talk about it. So Tagir Ulanbekov is 14-2 overall, won 4 of his last 5, while Cody Durden is 16-4-1, also won 4 of his last 5. Currently, odds for this are -176 for Tagir Ulanbekov, while Cody Durden is a plus 138 dog. Ulanbekov, 32 years old, 5'7", 74-inch reach. Cody Durden, 32 years old, 5'7", 67-inch reach. D-Rose, I have doubted Cody Durden so many times, dude, against lower level competition, and I picked against them. When he is against a higher level of competition, do I pick him now, dude? Because it's like, we've seen Cody Durden when he lost against Makayev, right? But yeah, put his head right in the guillotine, dude, and against the same person that also can do the same thing, does he do the same thing and get choked out? So I'm terrified to pick him here, but I think I am going to go with a dog, Cody Durden, this week to defeat Tagir Ulanbekov in Las Vegas. We ain't in Abu Dhabi, so, and he is probably the worst out of the Nurmagomedov crew, if you will. So give me Cody Durden, the dog, to beat Tagir via decision this week. Yeah, upset the world again. Let's go, Cody Durden. I'm finally picking your brother. Don't let me down. D-Rose, which way you going, man?
Man, you're stealing my thunder with all the underdogs, man. I think because I actually think that I 100% think the same thing. I think for Tagir, I still think, even though I know Tim Elliott was doing some cheating shit, I know he had his fingers in the gloves, and I know the Habib camp, they made a big deal about it, which, I mean, Tim Elliott was doing some dirty shit, but still at the end of the day, they were pretty significant favorite. He was a pretty significant favorite against Tim Elliott, and to drop that fight, and not being able to really control Tim Elliott or anything to the such with his wrestling. Cody Durden, also a good wrestler. I think he's strong, got good hands. I think if he can actually establish the pressure on Tagir Ulanbekov and not get put on his back foot, I think Cody Durden, I think he can win the fight. So yeah, I think Cody Durden by decision would be you could potentially win a little bit of change. I might maybe flirt around with that with the straight bet.
Yeah, man. I feel the same, man. I feel the same. Can't wait for odds for that to drop, because I will be interested in it. Me and D-Rose both on Cody Durden against the favorite, Tagir Ulanbekov, this week. Up next, dude, we have Alonzo Zoe Minifield, trained by none other than Pat Barry, or I guess Atomic Alonzo Minifield. I apologize. Taking on the Hanyak, Dustin Jacoby, dude. Alonzo Minifield, 14-3-1. Dustin Jacoby is 19-7-1. Currently, odds for this are Alonzo Minifield plus 200, Dustin Jacoby minus 265. Yeah, dude. Alonzo Minifield, 36 years old, 6 foot, 76-inch reach, while Dustin Jacoby, 35 years old, 6'3", and a 76-inch reach as well. So same reach. Dustin Jacoby, 3 inches taller, though, man. Yeah, I just, after snoozing Kennedy in his last fight, dude, I watched that live in person, broke all my bets, but I was like, holy smokes. Dude, I like me some Dustin Jacoby here. He is a pretty big favorite. Yeah, Alonzo is good, dude. He has power, but I think the size and pressure of Dustin Jacoby kind of being in your face, just jab, leg kick, jab, maybe going for a takedown. If he don't get caught on some dumb shit going for a takedown, dude, if he sticks to his striking, I think he should win this fight pretty cleanly, just using his range and just overall size, picking apart Alonzo Minifield, pushing him back. Yeah, give me the Hanya, Dustin Jacoby, to win this fight. Third or decision, dude. He does have power, so I guess he could knock out Alonzo, but Alonzo's got a chin. But Dustin Jacoby for me. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, well, I mean, Alonzo Benefield, he also got slept by OSP too. So I mean, he also ran into a shot. And Dustin Jacoby is a sniper, man. I mean, if there's one thing I can give him credit for, he's a sharpshooter with his striking. And I like both fighters here, but I do think that Dustin Jacoby, I just think in terms of just his pure striking, he's just obviously glory kickboxer. He's going to be the cleaner striker of the two. Alonzo Benefield, I think the challenge that he does bring, though, he's big, strong guy, and he has been using his wrestling a lot in his last few fights. And we saw what he submitted Jimmy Crute, right? And yeah, I mean, he's been using his wrestling. He's a big, strong dude, kind of really rounding out his game. So that is one thing that Dustin Jacoby, he's gotten better takedown defense since he's been in the UFC, but he has been plagued with his takedown defense in the past. So look for Alonzo Benefield to try to go for the takedown here. But I do think that Dustin Jacoby's able to keep him in range and pick him apart with that jab. I'd say probably I'd maybe go decision here, but hey, you could potentially see a finish. But if it's me betting this fight, I'm probably just keeping it safe and putting it in a parlay with the money line.
Yeah, man. The way you were talking, I was like, is he going to go Alonzo Benefield here? But no, D-Rose sticking with the Hanya, Dustin Jacoby. Me and D-Rose both on Dustin Jacoby. Up next, dude, King Casey O'Neill taking on the Queen of Violence, Ariane Lipski, dude. Casey O'Neill 9-1. Only loss was her last fight against none other than Jennifer Maia, dude. Huge upset. I called that shit though. Ariane Lipski, 16-8 overall out of her last 5. She has won 3 and lost 2. Currently, King Casey O'Neill is a -210 favorite. Ariane Lipski plus 162, the underdog. Casey O'Neill, 26 years old, 5'6", 69-inch reach. Nice. Ariane Lipski, 29 years old, 5'6", 67-inch reach, dude. This is a tough one for me to call, dude, if I'm going to be honest, because I don't think Casey O'Neill's that great, man. I really don't. And Ariane Lipski's got some hands, dude. It's just, can she keep it up for 3 rounds, dude? Yeah, I feel like if end the fight early, she's not winning, dude. She split against Melissa Gatto. She beat JJ Alder. She clearly, had the ground control there. Mandy, yeah, dude, give me the dog. Give me Queen of Violence, Ariane Lipski, to defeat King Casey O'Neill this week. Mostly because I don't think Casey O'Neill's that good. I think a lot of people just think she's attractive, and that isn't grounds for being a good fighter. Yeah, Queen of Violence, Ariane Lipski, D-Rose. Which way are you going,
man? Yeah, I do agree that that looks are not the grounds to me that you're a great fighter. Yeah, because I mean, if that was the case, I mean, I would be the greatest fighter in the world. I mean, no, all bullshit aside. No, I actually think that I'm surprised he went Lipski. The only reason why I'm going to go Casey O'Neill here is because Lipski is a good fighter. But I think the thing that always plagues her is whenever someone's able to put the pressure on her. As you saw in like the Priscilla Cachoeira fight. I mean, dude, Priscilla Cachoeira just absolutely butchered her when she just walked forward.
Queen of violently getting knocked out in that
fight. Dude. Yeah, Lipski acting like she did not know what to do when she was getting walked down like that. And not saying Casey O'Neill has that type of power, but I think she has that type of relentless, just continuously walking forward. And I think, Casey O'Neill kind of jab her up a little bit, go for some takedowns. Probably might be a little bit more on the boring side of a fight, but yeah, I think Casey O'Neill actually gets it done here.
All right, fair enough. Me and D-Rose second different pick, right? D-Rose going King Casey O'Neill. I'm going the Queen of Violence, Ariane Lipski. All right, dude. Interesting one, dude. And one dude that I am ready for, dude. I just, I could be just so off here, but what am I going to do? Cody No Love Garbrandt taking on Brian Boom Kelleher. Cody No Love Garbrandt 13-5. 1-2 of his last 5. Brian Boom Kelleher 24-14. Sneakily has so many fights, dude. I didn't even know, dude. Also lost 3 of his last 5. Currently, odds for this are a -225 for Cody Garbrandt and a +172 for Brian Boom Kelleher. Cody Garbrandt, 32 years old, 5'8", 65-inch reach, while Brian Boom Kelleher, 37 years old, 5'6", 64-inch reach. D-Rose, I'm going to be short here. I think a lot of people just don't know who Brian Kelleher is, dude, and he's got fucking power, man. And the only way he's really losing is he gets caught in the guillotine or a rear naked choke. You're only beating him, I guess, maybe by wrestling him out or choking him out, dude. He's got hands, and Cody Garbrandt doesn't really wrestle, dude. He likes to stand and show he has clean boxing, dude. And he gets cracked. Brian Boom Kelleher has power, dude. I might be betting Brian Boom Kelleher via knockout this week. Boom, baby. What's your thoughts here, man, as the underdog?
Oh, wow. Are you actually taking Boom here?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Wow. Yeah, no, I'm actually surprised. So I think I'm not saying that Boom Kelleher doesn't present some problems to him. He does have power in his hands. And I think that, Boom Kelleher also has a nasty guillotine of his own. So if Cody Garbrandt ends up getting hurt by any means, it kind of goes to shoot for a takedown. I mean, Kelleher is not scared to try to, lock in that guillotine, and he has that signature guillotine himself. But I think Cody's just the cleaner of the two in terms of the boxing. Kelleher's more kind of like a one-shot punch type of guy, not really clean boxing versus, Cody kind of, throws a lot of combos. He can have good footwork when he decides to actually use it. But, in his last fight against Trevin Jones, I think he kind of did that. I think the same opportunities present himself here. I think as long as Boom Kelleher doesn't land that one big shot, I think Cody Garbrandt would kind of just dance on the outside, similar to what he did against Trevin Jones here, and get the dub. So I'm going Cody Garbrandt.
All right, that has already picked number 3 on pay-per-views. We try to have 5 different picks, so that'll be pick different number 3. I'm going Brian Boom Kelleher to knock out Cody Garbrandt. D Rose thinking Cody Garbrandt going to beat Kelleher via decision, right, D Rose?
Yeah, I think my decision. I mean, he could potentially knock out Boom, but I think Cody plays it safe.
All right, fair enough. All right, D Rose. We are, I think, at the co-main event, the prelims, I believe. So we got Irene Aldana, one of my favorites, taking on Carol Hossa, the Mexican Jaguar. Irene Aldana is 14-7. Lost 2 of her last 5. Carol Hossa is 17-5. Won 3 of her last 5 as well. Currently, odds for this are -210 for Irene Aldana and +162 for Carol Hossa. Irene Aldana, 35 years old, 5'9", and a 68.5-inch reach, while Carol Hossa is 28 years old, 5'5", and a 67.5-inch reach. D-Rose, I'm going to go grab something to drink. You mind breaking this down for me? I can hear you in my ear if you want to make your picks, and I'll be back in just a moment, brother.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and this is the return of Irene Aldana as well, coming off
after retiring Amanda Nunes with that uppercut.
Yeah, sending Amanda Nunes to hell with that uppercut, and no. So I'm interested to see kind of where Irene Aldana is at this point. She is coming off just land the absolute egg that she did against Amanda Nunes. That was really tough to watch when a lot of people, had the Mexican MMA wave, coming in, she was carrying on the torch that, Brandon Moreno and Yair Rodriguez had already kind of set the tone for, and blah, blah, blah. And, she and Alexa Grasso and them, and, Irene did kind of fall on her face, but I don't think Carol Hossa presents nearly the challenges or the type of pressure that comes with fighting Amanda Nunes. So Irene Aldana is obviously the cleaner boxer of the two. Carol Hossa, She's got some good power. She's got some decent boxing. We've seen her go for some takedowns from here and there, but I think this should be Renee's fight to lose here. You know, she has been taken down in her fights before, but we have seen over her last few fights she's gotten better with her takedown defense. She's got good jiu-jitsu off her back, so she definitely throws up a triangle at just about any time she's taken down on the ground. So I think Irene Aldana should be able to get the win here. I think maybe by finish, but yeah, let's go Irene.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear which way I'm going. I have my Arena Aldana shirt on. Let me full screen, you guys can see. Got my Arena Aldana shirt on, you know, the Mexican Jaguar, if you will. When she fought Amanda Nunes, D-Rose came down, and we watched the pay-per-view together. Disappointing, man. Disappointing. Yeah, I just...
Ooh, rough.
Yeah. I was just the whole fight. I was just like, damn, man. But, yeah, I am with you. I'm picking Arena Aldana, of course, but I guess what worries me is her being controlled against the fence like Holly Holm did, dude. I think that can happen, and Carol Hosa is someone that can do that. She can just hold you up against the cage, and it's only 3 rounds, dude. So if she does that for 2 rounds, she won the fight, dude. I would be hesitant to actually bet this fight. I am, you know, with my heart, I am picking Arena Aldana, but dude, with my wallet, I'm telling you guys, do not bet this fight, because Carol Hosa could easily hold Irene Aldana up against the cage for 2 out of the 3 rounds and get a split decision win at the end of the night, dude. And you just feel dumb, dude. Thoughts on that, D-Rose?
Yeah, no, that's very much true. Yeah, and Carol Hosa, like I said, she's got some decent power herself. So I mean, she's not, you know, no slouch to kind of, you know, standing there to be messing around with. And yeah. Yeah, I was repping got the shirt and all, repping the crew.
Yeah, man.
I was now you just need the hat, and that's it. I was saying, yeah, now you need his hat. But but no, I 100% with you though.
Yeah, me and D-Rose both on Irene Aldana this week. So up next, dude, we have I'm sorry, Randy Poppy. I just now saw this. Cody round 1 KO. So he's on Cody Garbrandt round 1 KO over Boom Kelleher. I don't know, man.
I mean,
it could happen.
Boom's been finished a lot. Yeah,
Boom. Boom hasn't fought in a while too, after having like neck surgery, dude. So you know, this is like first fight back. Maybe he's just taking it because he needs some money, dude. He could just go out there and get round 1 knocked out. It probably wouldn't surprise me too much, but I'm taking the shot. I'm riding with Boom this week. You know, probably not a lot of people with me though, but you know, it is what it is. Up next though, D-Rose, we've got Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell taking on Josh Emmett, dude. One that I am excited for. CCO Josh Emmett. I guess that's new. Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell. Josh Emmett, 18-4, lost 2 of his last 5. Thug Nasty is 16-1. Only loss was to Ilya Topuria. Currently, odds for this are minus 220 for Bryce Mitchell. Josh Emmett, the plus 168 dog. Josh Emmett, 38 years old, 5'6" and a 70-inch reach, while Bryce Mitchell is 29 years old, 5'10" and a 70-inch reach. D-Rose, I've been going at it nonstop. Feel free to break this one down, man.
Yeah, this one I've kind of actually been going back and forth in this fight because you know, as you know, I am a fan of Josh Emmett, and you know, he in his last couple fights has not looked as great, and you know, so in the Topuria fight, I mean, odds are going to be stacked against him because basically Topuria was a cleaner boxer version of himself. So like, you know, all the same dangers that Josh Emmett presents, but the cleaner boxer as well. Yeah, that was definitely going to be, you know, a nightmare matchup for Josh Emmett. And the Yair Rodriguez fight, you know, just the speed that Yair presented, you know, that was just going to be a nightmare for him. And this one, you know, Bryce is going to be, you know, very wrestling heavy, you know, but also he's gotten better with his hands as well. So I don't want to underestimate Bryce Mitchell's hands. You know, he dropped Edson Barboza. So I'm not going to discredit Bryce saying he's not a decent striker, but he doesn't carry the power that those other dudes fight. Those other dudes have, and I think for Josh Emmett, good wrestler. He's got a good base. Man, I just think as long as he does not let Bryce take him down, and if Josh Emmett could just lean into throwing a jab every once in a while instead of just winging hooks, I think it would really benefit him in terms of setting up his power shots. But man, I'm actually going with the dog here. I'm going to go Josh Emmett. I like Bryce Mitchell. I think he's a good fighter, but again, I do think his striking is just a little bit not as clean as the other guys that Josh Emmett has fought. I think Josh Emmett right now, back is kind of against the wall with the 2-fight losing streak. Bryce Mitchell is taking this fight on short notice as well, so I'm going to bank on the fact that Josh Emmett has had a full camp and is ready for this. Outside of Bryce Mitchell, kind of taking this fight on 2 weeks' notice. So yeah, I'm going with Josh Emmett full camp, coming in, a little bit of motivation and back against the wall off of the 2-fight losing streak. Let's go, Josh Emmett here.
All right, man. Fair enough. Interesting, man, because I just think Josh Emmett's slowly declining now, dude. He's just getting older, man. 38, almost 39 years old, man. And, once you cross over that 35, 36 mark, it's like, dude, I just don't see you getting much better. Like, he is a good wrestler, but, dude, I can probably think back about how many times I've seen him shoot on, like, one hand, dude. I feel like he doesn't really shoot for takedowns himself, and it's like I don't think he's going to knock Bryce out. Even Ilya didn't knock Bryce out. He was knocking the shit out of him, but he didn't knock him out. He had to take him down, and he had to, choke him out because, Bryce still going to get him up and still going to walk forward like a damn zombie, dude. I just think Bryce Mitchell has that factor, that nonstop, that willpower, that country strength, D Rose. You know about that where we're from, dude. That farm boy strength.
The hay bale throwing strength.
Yeah, you know who I'm going here, D Rose. I got my Thug Nasty camo hat here.
Get your boy.
Here we go. Give me Thug Nasty to obviously to beat Josh Emmett, probably via arm triangle, maybe even a twister, baby.
Remember camo shorts.
Twister City, baby. Give me Thug Nasty to defeat Josh Emmett this weekend. I forgot who was fighting. Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell, baby. So yeah, dude, that is I think that might be our 4th or 5th different pick. Who knows? Lush is keeping track for us. So D Rose on Josh Emmett. I am on Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell this week. So up next, we do have everyone's favorite fight to talk about. Here we go, D Rose. We've got Vicente Luque taking on Ian Machado, the future Gary. The silent assassin, Vicente Luque is 22-9-1 overall, won 3 of his last 5, while Ian Machado, the future Gary, or you can have whatever nickname you want for him. That's up to you. 13-0. Currently, odds for this are a plus 285 for Vicente Luque and a minus 400 for Ian Machado Gary. Or I don't know if I said that right. They are a plus 285 for Vicente Luque and a minus 400 for Ian Gary. Yeah, 32 years old for Vicente Luque, 5'11" and 76-inch reach, while Ian Gary is 26 years old, 6'3" and a 74-inch reach. Yeah, D Rose, I want you to break this down, man. Go for it.
Yeah, another tough fight for me to call. Another fight where I actually really like. I'm a big fan of both fighters, so hard for me to call here. And listening to some of the pre-fight talk, and I heard where Ian Gary, he was training with Luque, and Luque had submitted him at one point in time, and but on the feet, it really wasn't close when they were sparring and stuff like that. And Ian Gary has had a lot of turmoil here lately, just in terms of yo, that's what everybody is roasting Ian Gary for that. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of turmoil going on in and outside the octagon right now. He's getting kicked out of multiple gyms, Ian Gary, right now, and he's got all the stuff in his personal life with his wife and and then her ex and whatever all that stuff is. I don't know, whatever the hell it is, but but all that mess together. But it's almost like Ian Gary. It almost seems like he's kind of doing this to like create like motivation for himself, because it's like, you all doubted me, you all doubted, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like he's almost kind of manifesting this to like have this negative energy that he can go against.
It's almost like he always said that he didn't want to be Connor, and like, so don't compare him to Connor. So he's almost like not doing something crazy, but this is his own way of being hated. Like people hated Connor like in the beginning, dude. That's what I see, to be honest. But I don't really think that changes anything. I think he's still pretty focused, dude. I think all of that outside is just noise, dude. I'm curious if he'll show up to the press conference tomorrow, dude. That's what I'm kind of ready for, because he didn't do the fight week interview today, dude. So if he has to be on stage with everyone fighting tomorrow, dude, I guess we'll see, man. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely be interesting, especially Colby decides to take aim at him for any reason. So I'd be interested to see that. But I do say all this to say Ian Gary is probably going to end up KOing Luque. As much as I hate to say it, I think Luque, he did use a lot of his wrestling in his last fight against RDA, and he does have wicked submission skills. So I do think that there could be a chance. Could he hit him with a Darce choke? Sure, but man, Ian Gary's just so sharp, so dangerous. I think just the reach that he's going to be able to have on Luque. I just think it's going to be tough for Luque to kind of get within that range. I think Luque just ends up kind of walking into some big counter shots, and unfortunately ends up getting put out.
Yeah, Lush saying he just get people talking about him. Yeah, and I agree with you, man. I just think in Luque's last fight, he showed more of his like wrestling, but at the same time, was he just scared because of like him not wanting to get hit because of the brain bleed like that he already like suffered in his like last fight? So
that Jeff Neal fight was rough too, dude. Like he took a lot of damage in the fight.
Yeah, dude. So I just think that worries me a bunch. Me and you are both Vicente Luque fans. Me and you both love the Silent Assassin. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it's just this fight's kind of already, dude. Unless he's able to crack him, dude, then dude, it's like Ian Gary maybe knock out I think Vicente Luque, maybe like a body kick, head kick. But yeah, I gotta go Vicente Luque. Probably, I mean, Ian Gary probably to knock him out, with the head kick, like a body kick. But I gotta go Ian Gary probably to win this fight via decision. He didn't finish Neil Magny when he had multiple chances to, dude. But yeah, I'm going Ian Gary here.
I felt like he kind of did that intentionally with Neil Magny though, because he had all the child comments and blah blah blah, and he felt like he had like a point to prove, and he kept letting Neil Magny get up. Versus, I think if he has Luque hurt, I do think he's going to try to pounce on him and try to put him away.
Got you. Jim Clark, how did I get that floating UFC logo above your head, dude?
That's a sick edit, dude, on the video. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. And Mike G just trying to get me to say, this. How about this, man? Shout out loose asshole. How about that? You don't even have to trick me into saying it. Shout out all the loose assholes out there. Yeah, man. Here we go. VRC saying Layla beats Ian's ass for skipping the presser, and now he's out of the fight, dude. That's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Does Ian Gary fight this weekend, dude? What do you think?
Do you think? I guess. Do you think there's a chance that he might not fight?
Dude, I don't know, dude. It wouldn't surprise me. Dude. I would be like, you know what? What a hoe. What a hoe.
I wouldn't think now that, I mean, if there's one thing that I can give him credit for so far in his career, I mean, there have been guys who have pulled out of fights and stuff like that. But as far as I've remembered, whenever he's booked for a fight, I've never remembered like him pulling out of a fight. It could have been an opponent or whatever, but I've never known him to actually pull out of a fight. So yeah, if he didn't, yeah, that would actually probably be pretty surprising.
All right, man. I guess that was the opener of the main card. So, yeah, second fight on the main card, dude. Everyone's ready for it this week. We have none other than. Am I sharing here? Oh, I am sharing, just not on the screen. Let's see. Chelsea and Ian's son is sick or something like that. Holy smokes, D Rose. Imagine, dude. Imagine that's the excuse. Ian Gary's son is sick and he can't fight, man.
Oh my gosh.
D Rose looking like Kenny from South Park over there.
Because I'm getting scared of the next fight announcement over here, but yeah, I mean, Ian Gary, dude. I mean, that's your, at the end of the day, that is your payday, I mean, unless he's sick as well, like unless they all got like COVID or something. I mean, let's get out here and make this happen, man. I mean, unfortunately, he's sick, but yeah, as long as he ain't on his deathbed or anything like that, I mean, hey, let's go out here, get the scrap done this weekend, and you'll be able to go cuddle with him afterwards.
Yeah, Jim Cart collected saying Ian can only handle being the hammer, not the nail. I guess we'll find out this weekend, man, because Vicente Luque can for sure be a hammer, dude. Here we go. El Kukui, Tony Ferguson versus Patty, the baddie Pimblett, dude. We got the red versus the green in 25-9. Tony Ferguson lost all 5 of his last 5. While Patty Pimblett 20-3 won all 5 of his last 5. Dude, it's like, dude. Currently, odds for this are minus 330 for. I'm sorry. Yeah, minus 330 for Patty Pimblett and a plus 240 for Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, 39 years old, 5'11", 76-inch reach, while Patty, the baddie Pimblett, is 28 years old, 5'10", and a 73-inch reach. D Rose, I'm gonna let you break it down, man. Go for it, dude.
No, not Tony. No, I don't want to say it. No, I'm just such a Tony Ferguson fan, and I just, at this point, you just want to see him. You want to see him hang it up. He's just been brutally finishing his. I mean, how many fights at this point now? And, I love his warrior spirit, but, he's almost kind of talking like, I don't even know if it's going to be beneficial for him to even get a lucky knockout, because what he's going to say. Oh, I'm making my title run, champ shit only. Exactly, Austin. He's going to try to make his, he's going to try to make his title run once he gets a win. But, oh man. I don't even think Patty's going to because everybody's like, oh man, Patty's going to hurt him. I just don't want Patty to be able to say that he has a win over Tony Ferguson. That's my thing. To say Tony Ferguson lost to fucking Patty Pimblett because he was going to fight Habib at one point in time because they both had the longest win streaks in UFC lightweight history. They both had the same win streak at the same time. And we lost that, and now he's getting probably submitted by Patty Pimblett. What a sad fall for Tony Ferguson here. But I say all that to say, Patty Pimblett probably wins by submission, and hopefully sends Tony Ferguson into retirement. But I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
Oh goodness. The whole chat going champ shit only. Tony time. Lush saying Tony won round 1 against Chandler, caught the Hail Mary 100%. Patty's only dominated against Monkey King. Tony will eat champ shit only. Tony calls out Khabib after the dub championship only. Yeah,
He
dude.
gets the title fight, baby.
Guess who I'm going for, D-Rose? Dun, 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 clearly, I guess, D-Rose, you've known me for a long time. Have I ever been a Tony Ferguson fan before? Like, these last two fights when I'm like, come on, go, Tony. Like before these last two fights, you've known me forever. Have I ever really been like, yeah, Tony's that guy? Like I was always the guy like picking against Tony. So
Yeah, no, you're right.
yeah, so I don't guess I've ever been like the biggest Tony Ferguson fan. I've always thought that, like the way he fought was kind of dumb. But it worked and he won. So but that being said, it's like, dude, Patty eh, Patty might even knock out Tony in the first round, dude. It's like Tony's older now, and Patty's a big
No,
kid, man. Patty's a big kid. Imagine he comes out there and just throws
he's
bombs
fat.
like he did, like Luigi Vengermania, dude. Just comes out there, throws a flying knee at him, and just fucking throws hooks at him. The blonde hair is flying, dude, and Herb Dean stops it on the feet because Tony Ferguson's just fucking standing there, man, or he's already fucking fell over, dude. I just don't think there's I don't want to count Tony Ferguson out, but I don't think there's a shot in the world that he beats Paddy Pimblett this weekend. Sorry, chat. Sorry, y'all. I
Uh,
I owe Lush Lemaine
uh,
about like 20 push-ups, dude. I owe Lush Lemaine about 20 push-ups, dude.
uh,
But yeah, dude, I think this is the equivalent of Kamzat versus Nate Diaz, man. That's what this is. This is the changing of the guard. This has to happen sometimes, dude. You stick around long enough, this shit happens to you. Paddy Pimblett finishes Tony Ferguson this weekend. It is what it is. You can't get a dub if you give up. I guess not. I guess not, dude. Me and D Rose both on Paddy Pimblett this week to defeat Tony Ferguson. Even though he don't want to say it, it is what it is. Up next, dude, feature fight of the night. We've got the Nomad Shavkat Rakhmonov taking on none other than the Wonder Boy, Stephen Thompson, man. This is going to be an interesting one. Shavkat, the Nomad Rakhmonov, 17-0, undefeated. Obviously won all 5 of his last 5, while Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson, 17-6-1, won 3 of his last 5. Currently, odds for this are minus 720 for Shavkat Rakhmonov, plus 450 for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Shavkat, 29 years old, 6'1", 77-inch reach, while Wonderboy is 40 years old, 6 foot and a 75-inch reach. D-Rose, I want to start off by saying if this stays on the feet, dude, if Shavkat, thinks that he's a great striker and just wants to test out his skills, I think this looks a lot like the Kevin Holland versus Wonderboy fight, man. I think Wonderboy might box Shavkat up a little bit. I think Shavkat needs to get Wonderboy down or needs to get behind him to choke him to defeat him. I think Shavkat wins this fight via submission somehow, but I think it's real sketchy and I don't like the odds, to be honest. Yeah, I might even take a shot at just a crazy Wonder Boy shot, just a straight bet. Don't put it in no parlay or nothing like that. But dude, plus 450, dude, that's $25 to like win like 125, dude. That's pretty solid odds, dude. But yeah, Shavkat probably submits Wonder Boy, but he needs to go out there, take him down, and do that. If he tries to play with him on the feet, dude, it ain't gonna look good for Shavkat. I'm gonna go ahead and say that shit right now.
yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it. Yeah, I think Shavkat is coming in here. He's got all the momentum in the world. What 17 wins, 17 finishes. What is it? 9 wins by submission, 8 by knockout. So I mean, the dude's as well rounded as they come. In terms of how he fights, and real crowd pleaser in terms of him just going for the finish. And for Wonder Boy, we know the dynamic karate striker that he is, but we all know his weakness at the end of the day. Oh, you definitely like one of them Floyd boys now.
I fucking look like where we're from, D Rose. The
Yeah,
fucking
damn right.
country,
You do that.
boy.
Oh, his name, dip there, but and then you'll be good. Get you a little dip in there, and then you'll be all right, man. But no, I think a lot of people look at that last Jeff Neal fight, and oh well, Shavkat, he was getting busted up in that fight, but so I went back and watched the Jeff Neal and Shavkat fight the other day, dude. Jeff Neal's takedown defense, I mean, chef's kiss, dude. I mean, there were multiple times where, there were good time takedowns by Shavkat Rakhmonov, and there was a time where he had Jeff Neal rocked with a head kick, and he still could not take Jeff Neal down. Like, Jeff Neal was on one leg and still could not get taken down by Shavkat. His takedown defense is lights out. Wonder Boy does not have that same type of balance and athleticism to be able to stop the takedown, especially at this age and time. I do think that he could be. I think he'll put up a good effort, but I think a bet to look out for, and this is one that I am going to play this weekend, is Shavkat Rakhmonov submission round 2 or 3. I'm telling you, that's actually one that I personally have hit multiple times with Shavkat Rakhmonov, so I'm gonna continue to try to see if I can ride that streak here. I think I've hit 2 in a row with them. Let's try to make it 3.
Ding ding. Odds for that are currently plus 320. Shavkat Rakhmonov round 2 or 3 submission plus 320. D Rose.
Yeah, I think I like those odds, and I think Wonder Boy can kind of fight him off in the initial going, but Shavkat gets a little settled in the later rounds, and I think he ends up getting the submission and getting Wonder Boy out of there.
All right, so me and D Rose both going Shavkat to win the fight, probably via submission. Co-main event time for the flyweight championship of the world. D Rose, me and you are both fans of both of these fighters, to be honest. Me and you both are fans of Raw Dog Brandon Royval, but we both understand the animal that the cannibal Alexandre Pantoja is. Let's get into it. Alexandre Pantoja, 26-5, won 4 of his last 5, while Raw Dog Brandon Royval is 15-6, won 3 of his last 5. Currently, odds for this are Alexandre Pantoja minus 205, Raw Dog Brandon Royval plus 158. Alexandre Pantoja, 33 years old, 5'5" with a 68-inch reach, while Raw Dog Brandon Royval, 31 years old, 5'9" and a 70-inch reach. D Rose, there's not many fighters that you can compare to Hamzat, but Alexandre Pantoja might be that guy, dude. He just goes forward. Fuck what you got. He's going to do what he's going to do. If he runs out of gas, fuck it. But he showed in his last fight, dude, I swore he was out of gas at the end of the second round, dude. And he fought 3 more rounds against the reigning champion and ended up edging out the decision, dude. Alexandre Pantoja is a different animal. He is a cannibal, if you will, down here at 125. Raw Dog Brandon Royval is exciting as they come, dude. If they're pound for pound, him and Yuri are probably the most 2 exciting fighters in the UFC. Just the way they fight, it's pure chaos. I love me some Raw Dog Brandon Royval. I just think that he's maybe, I don't want to say fragile. I just don't think he's as durable as he needs to be in this game, and especially fight Alexandre Pantoja. He's already lost to him once by rear naked choke. I think Alexandre probably gets him out of there again. D Rose, this is a 5-round fight. I got Alexandre to probably finish Raw Dog in probably round 2 or 3. Which way are you going here, man?
Man, this one's tough because you kind of laid it out perfectly. We're fans of both guys, but Royval is definitely the one that he's the one that's going to have a lot of the fans support because of his fight style. Very fan friendly. Always going for the kill. He's kill or be killed in all of his fights, and I think the last couple fights that Pantoja has kind of been a little bit of that same mentality. He's going in there, kill or be killed. And he's been, as we saw in that Moreno fight, as you said, he was back against the wall, multiple times in that fight. And he was able to kind of, withstand the storm and was able to kind of get those takedowns later on in the fight to be able to Yeah, Joe Exotic 100%. 100%. 100% Joe Exotic, dude. Hell
Fuck
yeah.
Carol Baskins.
Fuck that bitch. Carol
She killed her husband.
Baskins.
She fed her husband to the tigers.
That's hilarious. But no, man, I think I'm gonna go Brandon Royval. Let's
Are
go.
you
Let's
going
just do
raw
it.
dog?
Let's
D-Rose
do it
going
for the hell of
raw
it.
dog.
I think that's going to be I think that'll be our fifth pick too.
You
So.
think so? Because in the main event, I was gonna be like, "All right, D-Rose, break it down, make your pick," and then I'm going the opposite way because dude, I don't know who to pick in the main event. I'm just gonna go the opposite of you, to be honest. So if you want Pantoja here, it's fine, and we'll have 5 still in the main event, dude. Because the main event,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
so
let's
split.
do it.
All right,
Yeah, I'll do
so
it. Okay.
me and
Yeah,
D
I'll go
Rose both,
Pantoja.
me and D Rose both on Pantoja here, and we will move on to the main event of UFC 296 at the T-Mobile Arena. This shit's probably going to be about 2 a.m. on Sunday morning after all these damn fights. And we got 2 title fights. We do have none other than Leon Rocky Edwards taking on Colby Chaos Covington, dude. Yeah, dude, here we go. Leon Rocky Edwards is 21-3 overall. Won 4 of his last 5, one being a no contest. Colby Chaos Covington is 17-3 overall, won 3 of his last 5, alternating wins and losses. Currently, odds for this are a -160 for Leon Rocky Edwards and a +124 for Colby Chaos Covington. Leon Rocky Edwards, 32 years old, 6'2", 74-inch reach, while Colby Covington is 35 years old, 5'11", and a 72-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose. As I said, I'm so torn here, man. Leon could for sure outpoint Colby over just the entire 5 rounds, maybe even knock him out. Colby has been dropped, taking a knee for the first responders, if you will, for in the Jorge Masvidal fight. But also the relentless pressure that Colby Covington puts on someone, dude. It's like jab, jab, head kick, takedown. Good fucking luck keeping up with that for 5 rounds. And he don't cut a lot of weight. I think he's probably the best size that you could be for 170 to go 5 rounds, dude. Just relentless, man. I just don't know if Leon can keep up with that. I think currently Colby Covington is a better version of what Kamaru Usman was probably the last 2 times that Leon fought Usman. He's probably more comparable to the first time that Leon fought Usman way back in the day, dude, because Colby is, Colby's 35, but Colby is, young, stays in good shape, doesn't cut a ton of weight, dude. I think, dude, this could go either way, man. I really don't know which way to go because Colby can get dropped and Leon's got great footwork and he can just point out Colby by decision, or this could be a wrestle grinding, terrible, boring decision match, which is why I'm going to defer to you, D Rose. I'm going to let you make your pick and I'm going to go the opposite way, my guy.
Yeah, I think you broke it down perfectly in terms of how they match up. Colby with the pressure and the wrestling and kind of the wrestle boxer type pressure, and then Leon really with the clean footwork, obviously the sharp boxing, the sharp kickboxing. He's got everything there. In terms of the striking tools. For me, I think, in terms of who am I leaning towards? I'm leaning toward Leon here. And reason being is because, I think the only thing that really you can say that Colby does better than Usman, he might throw a little bit more volume. But other than that, Usman has better power. I think he's the stronger of the two. He has just as good a cardio. I think really I think he's the better. He throws a better 1-2 than Colby does. Colby just kind of just throws just wild stuff just to get your hands up, and then that way he can get try to get in on your hips and try to get in for the takedown. But Leon, with his footwork, I think if he's able to keep it at range, throw them leg kicks, time the leg kicks well, especially, they're both going to be southpaw as well. So Colby's going to have that lead leg sitting out there. He was able to out wrestle Jorge. Jorge was a little bit more willing to kind of stand in the middle. I don't think Leon's really going to give him that. I think unfortunately, it's going to be a boring fight unless Leon just lands a big shot and KOs Colby here. But I think Leon just kind of does similar to how he beat Usman in that last fight. Fence grabbing, eye poking. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, I think he just I think Leon saved on the outside footwork, kickboxing, and Leon gets unfortunately a boring decision to cap off a great night.
Yeah, man. Could happen. Wouldn't surprise me, but I think you're leaving out one thing between Colby and Usman. The difference is the finishing instinct that Colby has that Usman just doesn't, dude. Like whenever Usman has you down, dude, I don't think he knows what a submission is, dude. It's like I swear he will not go for anything. He just like hold you there and punch.
Colby doesn't either, though.
Colby will go for head and arm triangles and he'll kind of go for the rear naked choke, but where Usman just wouldn't ever. He just wouldn't.
Colby, how many submissions does Colby even have? Like, at least I will give Usman. I will give Usman the credit to say, like, he does not go for submissions that much. Like, because he's not a submission artist. Like, he goes for more ground and pound than anything. But, and he's not the greatest with the ground and pound.
Colby has 6 submissions.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Out of his 17 wins, 6 submissions. And 2 knockouts, nine decision wins. As where Usman, hold on. So Colby, 2 knockouts, 6 submissions, 2 knockouts, 6 submissions, 9 decisions, and Usman has 9 knockouts, 1 submission win, and 10 decision wins. See,
I'm talking about in the UFC. Like, I mean in the in terms of overall, but in the UFC, like, Colby hasn't submitted anybody of any type of meaning. Like, he didn't submit RDA. He Woodley broke his rib. You know what I mean? It's not like he submitted any credible foe in the UFC. So there's just a little bit of a difference there.
I'm trying to look back to see if he does have any subs in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, he probably does, but it's probably like super, super early on. I mean, dude, I can't even say like the last finish that he had was.
Yeah, I think he only has one.
Tyron breaking his ribs. Yeah. I mean the last finish that he had is Tyron breaking his ribs. And other than that, it was Max Griffin. But
he was at least
he attempts
like
it.
He
attempts it, but it's not like he's.
And I think that's the difference. As we're like,
but he's not good at it.
Like he didn't even attempt it. But it is what it is. So in the main event, I'm going Colby Chaos Covington, bringing that belt back to America, baby, to defeat Leon Rocky Edwards and Lushley Maine, our loyal guy that does God's work here, keeping track of who we pick because I don't even remember. But our 5 different picks for this weekend for the strap over D Rose's right shoulder there are fight number 1, Shamil Gaziev versus Martin Baddies Budai, where I'm going Baddies, Martin Budai, D Rose going the UFC newcomer Shamil Gaziev. Pick number 2, D Rose going King Casey O'Neill. I'm going the Queen of Violence, Ariane Lipsky. Pick number 3, D Rose going Cody No Love Garbrandt, where I'm going Brian Boom, baby, Brian Boom Kelleher. Pick number 4, D Rose going Josh Emmett. I'm going Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell. Surprising you went Josh Emmett there, D Rose, but it is what it is. I think he kind of maybe picking more with his heart than with his head there. And then pick number 5, the different one, Leon Rocky Edwards taking on Colby Covington, the main event of the night. I'm going Chaos Colby Covington, the underdog. D Rose going the favorite, Leon Rocky Edwards. If y'all haven't already, please do us a favor and hit that thumbs up button on y'all's way out if y'all haven't already, and we would greatly appreciate that. But D Rose, Pick Champ, coming back with me this week. I'm going to be doing Change to Cheddar Friday. So if y'all would like to stop by here Friday night, get my last minute picks bets. We'll try to turn $10 to $100 or more. D-Rose, you are more than welcome to join me Friday for Change to Cheddar, the last one of the year, if you will, And I would like to probably come back here maybe next week, D-Rose, the last podcast of the year, get our end of year, knockout of the year, sub of the year, all the picks, fight of the year. It'll be the MMA podcast number 99. That way we'll start off 2024 with MMA podcast 100. I think that would be dope, right? So, we can do 99 next week, get our end of year recap shit in, and then start off the new year with 100, dude. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that kind of bringing it, and I like doing the year end recap too, because kind of going back and seeing the year that was in the UFC, and kind of seeing what all we forgot and stuff like that, and I might say one fight was the fight of the year, and I look back and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot that fight was actually this year. So I like kind of going back and seeing the year that was.
Yeah, man. So crazy, dude, coming down to the end of the year, man. As crazy as it sounds, another year in the books. This is our third full year doing this, right, man? So,
Yeah.
Crazy, man. But with that being said, this last week of fights until next year. So catch us right back here next week just for the recap of the year, our sub of the year, knockout of the year, fight of the year, fighter of the year, coach of the year. I don't know what all we're going to do. Me and D-Rose will figure it out. But with that being said, we truly appreciate all y'all for stopping by right here tonight on the Golden Octagon. My name is Matt. D-Rose is on that side of your screen. Remember, if you're betting this weekend, remember, at the end of the day, it's a fist fight. Anything can happen. Keep that in mind. It's just people punching each other, so you can't be too upset when someone loses. With that being said, we'll catch y'all later. Peace.